If you found your way here, then I'm sure you must be as excited as I am after witnessing the awesomeness that was the reveal of the much anticipated sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. Here at Random SideQuest, we specialize in Horizon lore and history, so if that kind of thing is up your alley, consider subscribing and joining our community. From this point forward, we will be dissecting the trailer for all the wonderful details hidden within, so if you haven't seen it, spoilers ahead, and spoilers for serious plot points from Horizon Zero Dawn. Without further ado, let's dig in. Horizon Forbidden West will be taking Aloy all the way to the western coast of the continental United States. We can confirm the exact region as we can see several iconic landmarks of Northern California as ancient ruins of the 31st century, such as the Golden Gate Bridge, the San Francisco Ferry Building, and the Transamerica Pyramid skyscraper. Other notable locations can also be identified as we see Aloy-scale rock formations in what appears to be Yosemite National Park, located east of San Francisco, and perhaps the Red Sand Desert in Wyoming, as she traverses the dunes of what appears to be the remnants of a long-forgotten highway. These locations, much like we see in Horizon at present, look much different than they do today. However, many of these changes may have resulted closer to the 2030s rather than the era of our present story. Within the lore, a period of catastrophic climate change known as the die-off caused sea levels to rise high enough to displace millions. Coastlines and island nations around the globe found themselves submerged beneath the sea as a result. Though the 2040s was a time where much of this was reversed, we can assume that some structures and infrastructure were never able to be reclaimed, and may have remained beneath the water, much like we see in the trailer. Lore also references entire cities of the old ones entirely submerged, a sight we may only have caught a very small glimpse of. Wartime wreckage is also very prevalent within the trailer as ancient battleships, aircraft, tanks, and pharaoh machines litter the landscapes. Recorded within the lore, we hear much of the conflicts like the battles of the California Marine as the Pharaoh Plague emerged from the ocean. Troops lit floating garbage setting the sea ablaze, while thousands of fiery bots clashed with the forces of enduring victory. Unlike what we see in Horizon Zero Dawn, being the location of humanity's last stand, exploring an area such as the California coast can give us a true scale of what the conflict really looked like at its horrifying height. Though a variety of vibrant new fauna can be spotted throughout the trailer, it seems we are still yet to see any larger creatures or major predators populate the world. This may indicate that Gaia's subfunction in charge of animal repopulation, Artemis, has yet to be manually tasked with fauna reintroduction beyond original Phase 1 organisms, a feat that Aloy may be uniquely suited for. Several different tribal groups can be spotted throughout the trailer as well, and some may be more familiar than others. Though their garb is not an exact match, these tribal farmers bear a resemblance to the less prominent tribe in HCD known as the Utaru, a society whose home region of the Plainsong is said to reside somewhere within the Great Plains. The Utaru are known for their deep knowledge of agriculture and plant life. In fact, it was an Utaru botanist who is credited with the mapping of the metal flowers in the first game. Their deep connection to the Earth may make them uniquely qualified to aid Aloy in uncovering the truth to this new blight that is spreading through the world. Others appear to be new faces to Horizon, but perhaps not in a lore sense. Several cultures have been hinted to us in the scanned glyphs describing some as drinkers of machine blood, individuals pale as ash wearing the same faces, and others who mysteriously busied themselves digging and refilling holes in the earth for unknown reasons. Perhaps with more information, we may be able to match these peoples to the description in the future. Of course, some of the most spectacular visuals we were treated to have to come from the epic machines that are synonymous with Horizon. Some, like Snapmaws and Chargers, are all too familiar to those who have played HCD, while the rest are entirely foreign to us. Yet, this won't stop us from speculating on their intended function within or outside the terraforming processes. First is this beast, inspired by the animal morphology of a massive snapping turtle. Judging by the amount of vegetation on its shell, these machines may be more sedentary than most that we have encountered before. Its aquatic nature might lead us to believe that it falls under the jurisdiction of Gaia's subfunction Poseidon, and that it may find itself in the Purifier class of machines. However, its impressive build could just as easily place it with Demeter as a terraformer. Next are the boars. Powerful and stocky, their role in nature as survivors capable of sustaining themselves on almost anything would lead me to assume that they eventually will be filed as a scavenger class machine, along with Glinthawks and Scrappers. The newest addition to Aether's flying machines is this beauty. Far more sleek and streamlined than Glinthawks and Stormbirds of the past, resembling storks, I expect these to be Purifier-class machines capable of swift and prolonged flights thanks to their lightweight solar sail style technology. Also, being able to ride one of these wouldn't be so bad either. Last of the new machines in the trailer, but certainly not least, are the Mammoths, or for any fellow Lord of the Rings fans out there, the Oliphants. By all accounts, these appear to be the largest machines we have encountered outside the docile tallnecks of HZD. These, however, seem like they're gonna be pretty damn mean. 4 massive tusks, a trunk lined with blades, and what appears to be a snout equipped with a blaze nozzle like a bellowback, they mean business. Though fearsome, I'm not entirely convinced that they were designed as killing machines like Sawtooths or Thunderjaws. In my mind, their animal morphology could have been chosen by Gaia as an acquisition or of a transport class machine, and much like a Stormbird, converted over time to be more combat focused by Hephaestus. Remarkably, we see these machines under the control of tribal warriors, an ability that saw Aloy stand apart from nearly every other person in Horizon. This, of course, aside from the enigmatic Silence, making an appearance towards the end of the trailer, overseeing the overriding of several new machines. As of now, the knowledge of this ability is extremely rare, and with his track record with the founding of the Eclipse, I wouldn't be surprised if he had a large role to play with this other seemingly hostile group. But as always with him, to what end? The 3 falling red star-like objects are also an interesting phenomenon. This could be hinting towards something with the Odyssey space project, but with so little to go on, it's really hard to say. Unlike the first game, the apparent driving crisis Aloy faces in the sequel appears to be a type of corruption that is targeting living organisms, rather than the manipulation and breakdown of machines. These red plants appearing inland and on the coast seem to be the cause or result of its spread. Appearing to be some sort of infectious plant life, if this is the case, Gaia's subfunction Demeter may be at the heart of the problem. Demeter, so named after the Greek goddess of agriculture, played a large role in Gaia's ability to restore life to Earth. Responsible for restoring the planet's plant life, Demeter's work seems to have been completed long before Aloy became part of this world. Some might take this new plant life as a sign that Demeter is yet another subfunction who has gone rogue and aims to seek out the destruction or vengeance upon humanity, like Hades and Hephaestus. I find this to be unlikely, however, as Hades and Hephaestus only reach these course of actions as a result of reverting to their most basic programming. I think what we may be dealing with here is a situation closer to that of what happened to the AI Cyan in Firebreak, where a foreign entity has begun to warp and manipulate its original purpose. Not only do I feel that Demeter's core function would not digress into aggression naturally, in fact, I think it may have tried to communicate in its own way what troubles are to lie before us. Now, stay with me here. Demeter's alpha and creator, known only as Naoto to us, was a great lover of poetry. In this, we see a manifestation of this trait within the collectible metal flowers of the first game. But as we know, very little in Horizon does not tie into a greater meaning within the lore of the world. Within each flower is a code fragment containing sections of poetry from the ancient world. Lovely as they are, we haven't had a clear picture if they meant anything beyond an homage to their creators. With the context of what we now know is waiting for us in the West, many of these poems seem to carry an entirely different meaning. Let's start with the flower Mark 1A. Light of the moon, moves west, flowers shadows, creep eastward. The very first flower indicates some flowers' shadows moving from the west to the east, perhaps a hint towards the very event that will force Aloy to leave her homeland and travel to the Forbidden West. But wait, there's more. Slightly clearer imagery appears in Mark II-F that might strike some as more than just coincidence. I saw a mountain, its haughty peak and bunched spine vying the worlds on high, deflecting every salvo of the wind and shouldering the starlight from the sky, brooding above the dunes like some great thinker, considering days to come as nights go by, with black clouds wrapped about it for a turban and bangs of redhead lightning in its face. And through the night, that tongueless mountain uttered marvelous things. There is a chance that this could have been also referring to the events in the Frozen Wilds concerning Thunder's drum, but by all accounts, Demeter played no role in the transformation of Firebreak. Perhaps these messages were always meant to be found by Aloy, And as Gaia knew all too well, as our heroine was the only person who can bring the system back together. Here is a segment from Flower Mark II, J. When you are so full of sorrow that you can't walk, can't cry anymore, think about the green foliage that sparkles after the rain, when the daylight exhausts you, when you hope a final night will cover the world. Think about the awakening of a young child. Coincidence or message? Only time will tell. So much we don't know in this new chapter of Aloy's journey, with massive ramifications with the world at large. What is Sylens up to? Where is Hades? Which entity could be manipulating Demeter? The Masters? Vast Silver? Are they one and the same? So many questions. As more information comes to us, we will dive into them all. But for now, this brings our journey to an end. If you'd like to see more content like this, likes and shares are always appreciated. And if you really like what we're doing here at the channel, join our community and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. What are your thoughts and theories? We'd love to know in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching and keep questing.